My phone buzzed. Can we live with you? I'd heard that line before, and I wasn't going to be the safety net again. I'm Mateo, the sibling who learned to budget kindness like a second job. So when my parents showed up that night, Dad's jacket dusty as if he'd rushed out to buy sympathy, Mom's mascara still wet, I recognized the script. Short term, Dad said, dropping into my couch as if he'd never moved out. 6 months, maybe a year. The lines followed. Partner embezzled, company collapsed, house in foreclosure. They spoke with practiced sorrow. I listened for the seams. Have you asked Lena? I asked, a sister who'd always shouldered delicate storms without asking for my roof. She can't, Mom said. The soft tone calibrated to make refusal cruel. They left. The old pattern felt like a weight. I called my cousin Theo. He didn't hesitate. Did you know your dad wired Uncle Omar 50 grand last month for a venture? He sent a screenshot. Then a friend forwarded a photo of my sister Lila at an infinity pool, cocktail in hand, captioned, refilling the tank. The tidy pile of documents I pulled together, refinance filings, a recorded sale, transfer receipts, didn't match the famine they'd described on my couch. Their house hadn't been foreclosed. It had been refinanced. The company had been sold, not seized. They weren't desperate. They were shopping for a free landing pad. And as always, they'd chosen me. A week later, they returned with paperwork. My father slid a stack across my counter like an offering. It wasn't a lease. It was a leash. Tenant protections that would make removal legally tortuous, vague, family obligations, clauses tying my income to their healthcare. This makes me responsible for your medical bills, I said. We're family, Mom replied, the weaponized warmth I'd swallowed for years. We raised you, Dad added. Now you repay. I'll have a lawyer review this, I said. Their faces shifted, hurt, practiced to perfection, until Lila emerged from the hallway, suitcase in hand, sunburned, and crisp from a resort. Don't be dramatic, she said, designer bag like a prop. I opened my laptop and laid out the evidence. The refinance date, the sale confirmation, the wire to Uncle Omar, photos tagged from abroad. The performance faltered into defensive rust. You've been spying on us? Dad spat. No, I answered. I'm protecting myself from being used. Lila tried the old theater. Soft hysteria and entitlement braided into a plea. You'd abandon them? She asked, as if refusing to fund other people's choices made me monstrous. Abandon? I echoed. I'm refusing to be the family ATM. Mom reached for the ledger of sacrifice. After everything we did for you, and I cut across with a clear line. You invested in Lila. You refinanced for cash. Now you expect me to bail you out. I stood, opened my front door, and held the frame like a decision. When you need honest help, call me. Don't come here to leech. They gathered the unsigned papers and left with muttered threats about regret. Dad's taillights retreated down the block and something unclenched inside me. The immediate aftermath felt strange. Relief braided with a familiar ache. I found my evenings returned, my bank account stopped being an emergency fund, and the heavy, weary roll I'd carried slowly loosened. A neighbor dropped off lasagna and asked if I regretted it. I told her the truth. Setting boundaries was brutal at first, but the cost of always being the safety net had been my life. Months later, my mother called to invite me to a meal with no strings attached. We sat, we talked without guilt trips, and for the first time I felt we were having a real exchange, not a transaction disguised as family duty. I didn't gain applause. I gained something rarer, a backbone, and the right to help on my terms. If this hits home, drop one word below: boundary.